Hi class 5, welcome back to your science class. Let's begin the class with chapter number 6. We were doing states of matter. Now till now we have completed, we have understood what is matter, molecules, atoms we have done. Then we have also gone through the topic called the categorization of solid, liquid and gas. After doing that, we have seen the properties of solid, liquid and gas, right? Then we move to the solubility of substances in water, right? And when we were doing this, we have learnt about solute, solvent and solution, right? Then we have seen solubility of solids in water, solubility of liquids in water and solubility of gases in water with due examples. I have shown you the practical examples also. Now today we are going to start with the next topic called change of state. Okay, now see, when we talk about this change of state, as we have done in the previous class also, that that matter can change its state from one form to another form. Now the change of state of a material changes the arrangements of molecules in that material, particular material, right? Now changes can be broadly classified into what? Into two types. Now when I am talking about this change of state, I am talking about what? That matter can change from one state to another state. And what is important there? The molecules, the arrangement of molecules. Somewhere the arrangement of molecules is like this. Somewhere the arrangement is this. Somewhere the arrangement is this. So I am talking about the arrangements of the molecules. Now how I can classify that or differentiate that? I can say that it is divided into two types actually. Okay, now what are those two types? One you will see physical change, okay, and the other you will see chemical change. Now what does this term mean? Physical change and chemical change. We need to understand that. Okay. Now any change in matter in which no new substance is formed, okay, is termed as physical change. So understand the thing properly. See, anything or any change in a matter, when we talk about a particular matter, and then any change in that matter where no new substance is formed, okay, we don't get any new substance, but that change takes place. It is called physical change. Okay, it may involve a change in the state of matter and it can usually be reversed. It is not a permanent change. What does this mean? Means I can change to liquid to gas, gas to liquid. So it's not a permanent change. I can do both the ways. That is physical change, right? So nothing new is coming up. I'm just changing from one part to another part. That's it. I'm not getting anything new, no new material. For example, water. When we take water, it is in what form? It is in liquid form. Now on cooling becomes what? When you keep it in the fridge, it will become ice. It is water only, the liquid part only. And if you heat it, then what it will become? It will become steam, gas, right? It will rise up, right? Now, even though the state of water has changed from liquid to solid and then liquid to gas, it's still the same, liquid, right? If I want to change again gas to water, I can do that, right? If I want to change ice to water, I can do that. So, in any way, the things remains same. There is no change in that thing, that material. So this is called the physical change. Clear? Done. So when I am talking about water, then we freeze it. it becomes ice. Water, heated, it becomes gas. But it is water, liquid only, remains same. Again, I can reverse it. So, there is no permanent change. Done. Now, what is chemical change? So, physical change done. What is chemical change now? Let's see. Any change in matter in which one or more new substances are formed is termed as chemical change. So, chemical change is what? From one change to another, one part to another, when it changes, then one or more substances, new substances are formed, okay? And it is permanent change, okay? And it cannot be reversed. You cannot change it. Chemical change, when you do, you cannot change it. For example, if you take a piece of wood and you burn it, then it is a chemical change, because from burning, a new substance is formed. What is that? You get the ash of that wood. Now, can you change ash into wood? No, it's not possible. So, it's a fixed change. Chemical change is a fixed change, permanent change, where the when we are changing that thing, then we get a new substance. Okay, but in physical change, it is not at all permanent. You can just keep on moving it. Okay, so these are the two differences. Done. Now we move to the next topic. What is that next topic? Very interesting, and you have done in your previous class also. I have shown you with examples. Now, separation of liquids and from solids, not and, sorry. Okay. So, separation of what? Liquid from solid. Now, here, when we talk about separation of liquids from solids, we have few topics based on which we separate liquid from solids. Let's see. We can separate soluble and insoluble substances, right? Means when we are talking about soluble solids, when we are talking about insoluble solids, from where? From the liquid, we can separate it. Now, by applying few techniques, simple methods, okay, we know that soluble solids like sugar, salts, these are what? They dissolve in water. We have already learned. Insoluble solids like mud, sand, they don't dissolve in water. So, soluble means which dissolve, insoluble which doesn't, right? Now, they either float, means the insoluble solids, they either float on the surface of the water, or else they just settle down at the bottom. So, soluble solids, they dissolve in water. But when we talk about insoluble solids, either float on the surface or else they settle down. If it is heavier, then what we can say, it settles down in water. Now, separating soluble solids means we are starting with the first part is soluble solids. Okay. So, soluble solid means it has already dissolved in water. Now, how to separate it? Let's see. Two simple ways of separating soluble solids from water are given below. What are those two things? One you already know. This is known to you. Evaporation. You can do it at home itself. And the second one you will get is called distillation. This also I have explained you, I have shown you in the video last year. Remember? So first we will talk about evaporation. What is evaporation? It is the easiest way, the simplest way. It is the very easy method of separating soluble solid from liquid, right? Now, this is a very simple method of separating soluble solids like salt from water. Take the salt solution in a vessel, of course, and then heat it. After some time, what you find? The water in the vessel turns into vapor and the salt is left behind. So you can do this experiment at home, and I hope last year only we have done already, right? Next one is what? Distillation. This you need to understand. Though you have already seen it, then also you need to know. Okay. And distillation, see the picture, it's there in the book. So in distillation, you need few things. Few items are needed. What are those things? You need a burner, you need iron stand, you need one condenser, and you need one receiving flask. Done? Now, distillation is another separation technique, separation process, through which soluble solids get separated from water. Okay. It is carried out in a very special apparatus consisting of a round bottom distilling flask, okay, and a water condenser, a receiving flask, and a burner. So these are the items which are needed, very much needed when we do distillation. What is that? Apparatus means those things which are needed, like a round bottom should be round. A flask you need. What flask? Distilling flask. Okay, from where we can distill the thing, means separate. Done. Then a water condenser. We need one water condenser. See, the picture is given to you. Then what we need? We need a receiving flask, means when the things move, once the distillation process starts, when the things move, we need one receiving flask. Okay. And we need a burner. Why we need a burner? To heat it. Simple. Okay. Now, in distillation, a solution is heated until it starts boiling. So there is a temperature also. Okay. One temperature is fixed, and the once you heat it, once it reaches that temperature, then it starts boiling. That particular product starts boiling, means the soluble solid which is there and the water starts boiling. The boiling water slowly changes into what? We know it, steam. It changes into steam. Now, leaving what? Leaving behind the solute in the flask, right? That means if I am talking about salt and water, then salt is left at the bottom. And what is rising up slowly? The heat, the evaporated water. That means the steam gas. The steam then passes through the condenser. Now, why this water condenser is needed? Because the steam passes through the condenser and gets cooled. Slowly, the evaporation which takes place, it gets cooled. Once it gets cooled, what happens? It will change to what? Physical change. It will change to what? It will change to liquid again, water again. Okay. Thereby, now what happens? Turning back into liquid water. That's what I told you. When it moves from that particular water condenser, when it moves from there, then what happens? It changes into water again. When the evaporated water, means the steam, when it moves out, then it cools down. And once it cools down, then what happens? It changes into again liquid. Now the separated water gets collected in the receiving flask. Now when the water is separated, then what happens? It is collected in the receiving flask. So once you want to separate the soluble solid and the water, when it is already mixed, you want to separate it, you can use this distillation process if you have all these apparatus present with you or in the science lab. Or else you can use the simplest way, that is evaporation. Okay. So what we have learned basically is, we have understood that there are two change of state. Physical change and chemical change. We have understood what is physical change. It is not at all permanent and it can change from one form to another, again back to the same form. In chemical change, what we have seen, it completely changes. That means there is a change to a new substances, right? You cannot come back again. So it's a permanent one. Then what we have seen the separation process. That is, first we have started with the soluble solids. Okay. So insoluble one, we know it. Once we revise, we will come to know. Okay. But today we have talked about soluble solids when it gets dissolved. How to separate that? We have learned two topics. One, evaporation. The other is distillation. Right. So both the ways it helps in separating what? Soluble solid and water or liquid. Okay. So I hope this topic is clear till this much. Next class I will be telling you about separating insoluble solids. Okay. Today till this much. Take care. Bye bye.